Hello and welcome to the Major League Balatro Season 3 Fantasy Introduction. So, for those who don't know, last year we had a fantasy game for all of you to compete in week in and week out revolving around Major League Balatro, and we are absolutely bringing that game back and actually doing a few less changes than I was expecting to do going into Major League Balatro Season 3. Some of the capabilities that I was thinking about adding didn't come to fruition, but for the most part, you're going to be experiencing a very similar game to as of last year. I think it was a lot of fun. I think with more competitors and some small tweaks that I have made, it's going to be not just more competitive, but also have more variation. Last year, we had a few times where quite a few people would run into the same lineup. I don't think we're going to see as much of that this year, again, with more competitors and some tweaks. So, the first thing I'm going to do is give you a rundown of what the fantasy game is. And just a note, our current plan with our partner Fantasizer gives us a 200-player cap. However, if we reach that cap, I will go ahead and bump it to unlimited. We just entered the next price range in that with our partnership. And I obviously don't want to be paying for that extra space if we don't need it. So if we hit 200 people and you can't sign in for any reason, just let me know down in the comments down below or join the Zano Discord and at me. But I should also get a notification on my end when we reach our cap to go ahead and up it. But let's get into how the game works. So, first of all, I want to go over the scoring. So you're going to be scored every single week. This year, we just took the exact same scoring as last year and just brought it down a function of 10. So you get 1 point for a match win for your player, 1 point for a game win, 0.5 points per life remaining, and 0.1 per E in each game's high score. So I'll do a quick example. Let's say I have Bean on my team, and he won 2 of his 3 games in his match. So he'd get 1 point for the match win, 2 points for 2 game wins. Let's say they had 2 lives remaining in each game. They would get 1 point for each game for the lives remaining in those games. So far they're up to 5 points. And then the E in high score is counted for every single game. And it's basically how many extra zeros you have. So yes, when you have a high score in Balatro, you'll see like E10, E11, E12. But even when you have 7,000 points, that's E3. So you still get points even if it's a low score that actually doesn't populate an E in Balatro. All right, and then each week you have basically a budget. I don't want to confuse people. Last year, people got confused with the fact that it's called dollars in the Fantasizer platform, but think of this as points. Let's say you have 20 points every week to build your roster, and every single player has a price. So if I wanted to have Bean and Zano on my team, who are starting at 8 points this year for week 1, that's already 16 of my 20 points of my budget. So I would have to go lower down on the screen and find some players that could finish out the budget. That would be Nemo and HC Justin for week 1. This year, one thing different is I'm going to be adjusting the prices every single week starting week 2. I think this will also help with variation. But once you have your 4 players selected for your week, you just click finish and that will be your roster. Some other very important notes is that the rosters lock every Monday at 6 a.m. Pacific time. And that is so that nobody can change their team after games have started. So make sure to get in your weekly lineup at 6 a.m. Pacific time. Some other important facts is we will have a weekly prize. So every week you will be the winner of that week will receive a Major League Balatro hat of their choice. And then we also have a season-long competition. The season-long competition goes to the end of the regular season, which is 9 weeks. The winner, the first place person, will get a $150 basically gift card to our merch shop. They will also get a special title in the Discord. They will also get gifted a sub to whatever Twitch channel of the Major League Balatro players they so wish. The second place person will get a $100 gift card to the merch shop, and the third place person a $50 gift card. All coming with Discord titles. So There is a competition for the entire year as well as the weekly competition. Nothing crazy for the prizes, but again, this is mainly for fun and to have different players to root for every single week. And I do think it is very important to note the behavior section of the rule set. I do need to update some of this information here before we go live. Behavior. Do not complain, bully, or annoy creators in regard to fantasy performance. If you're caught being rude to someone due to this fun side event, you'll be banned from both Fantasy League and Twitch chats of all creators involved in Major League Balatro. This is an agreement I made with the creators. Fantasy sports in real life oftentimes can have incredibly fun and cool interactions where, you know, maybe you haven't watched a Vagabond stream before, but you see they've been doing well. You add them to your roster, and now you're invested in their game this week. However, what can also happen is I add Vagabond to my roster. You don't like the way they're performing, and you're mean to them in the chat saying you need to do better for my fantasy team. If you do that, you will be instantly banned from all 20 of our channels. We're just not going to deal with that. This is supposed to be fun. I want to see absolutely zero harassment or complaining. And again, there's not big stakes here. This is a free fantasy league that everybody's going to get to join. Very limited stakes. There's no reason to be that upset. So make sure to check yourself before you wreck yourself when it comes to people's chats. Try to always be positive, and when you're in there during a game, root someone on. Don't criticize them. So that's about it for the fantasy video. Signups are live right now. Again, there's a 200 player cap to start, but if we reach that cap, we'll go ahead and lift it and make it unlimited. If you have any more questions, let me know down in the comment section below. I look forward to competing with you guys in the Major League Balatro Season 3 fantasy game, and I'll see you for your next one very soon.